The Quote Goats Podcast. The Quote Goats Podcast.
All right. We back in the building. It's episode 20, Quote Goats Podcast. I go by the name of Tommy Guns.
You know, it's your boy, New York Smitty, man. Yeah, man, 20. Fucking crazy, man. We just been doing these shits back to back.
Back to back.
Every episode I say that, but it's so quick, you know?
Yeah, but it's a good thing, though. We rolling out here.
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in TikTok, man.
I'm disappointed in TikTok. It's still looking good, but it looked like they could take that shit away from us at any moment.
Like you saw me this morning. I woke up. I seen that shit. That shit scared me. That shit traumatized me.
It hurt my heart when I seen that shit pop up. Account warning.
Yeah, I was like, damn, bro, what we do? Then we went on the thing. Fucking kangaroo, bro.
Fucking kangaroo video. Apparently you can't show a kangaroo fucking knocking down an old man in the street on TikTok.
Yeah, it's a fact. I was like, not the king. I feel like out of all of our, like, you know, content, we have like worse things than that.
Exactly. We talk about shit, people getting shit on and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, to introduce, we got a guest and a friend to the show in the room. Can you tell the people what your name is, where you come from, whatever you want to say?
Yeah, of course. What a great way to introduce myself, first of all. Thanks for that.
Well, I'm giving you the opportunity to introduce.
Just like what you said before. And then anyways.
Yeah, you know, we got to put you on the spot.
I didn't want to go all into talking about people getting shit on before we like introduced you. You just kind of sitting in the middle of the poop conversation and stuff.
Yeah, that wouldn't be cool. Yeah, so my name is Sandra. I am I'm living in Fürth. So I'm from Germany. Born in Germany. Yeah.
You born in Fürth?
No, I was born in Passau.
Passau. I've never heard of that.
I've heard of Passau.
I only know Nuremberg, Berlin, Frankfurt, Munich. That's about it. In Fürth.
That's about all the cities you have to know.
Yeah.
Germany, all the other ones.
Yeah, I don't think Passau is like a famous place. But I've done some gigs there before. But
is it city? Like city-like or village?
I don't even like remember. The clubs probably I did was like some village shit. Them type of nights, them weird nights.
Why is it weird? What's up with the village?
Just the people, you know, they different.
Yeah.
You know. It's
like different in a bad way or
not in a bad way, just different. But it would always be interesting, you know. But anyway, yeah. But you like Germany, because we've had other people on the show who like don't particularly like Germany too much. Yeah, they kind of
like disown it a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. You want me to be honest or?
Of course.
Of course, this Quote Goats podcast. You gotta be honest.
Gotta be honest. Like Smitty say, we keep it direct.
I mean, I've been born and raised here, of course, so I kind of like play by the rules, as you may say here. But I mean, I've been also into other countries, and I mean, you know, I lived in the States as well for a little bit. Yeah, you lived
in America. I don't know a lot about that though. Like, where in America did you live?
In Cali, basically most of the time. Yeah.
How long was you there?
2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Cali.
Cali is like my favorite place.
I've never been there. I've always wanted to go.
You gotta go, bro.
You know, so.
But you was there like in a relationship, I know, right?
Yeah.
That didn't. I don't know how much about whatever you want to talk about. But
none of that, because I don't think that needs any attention, to be honest. But it just didn't work out. And I was like, the smartest thing to do is just to, you know, go back and be responsible and try to get back on my feet as quick as possible and just like, you know, let it go.
Okay, I got you.
And and then I don't know, basically after I've lived there, I kind of like realized the difference between, you know, Germany and like there. Before that, it was like, I mean, I was in Germany my whole life, you know.
Yeah.
And for me, that was normal. But then when people started asking me how my day was, and like they always wanted to know something from me, I'm like, what the heck is going on?
In the States, they would ask you this.
Yeah, you know how they do small talk all the time?
Yeah, small talk.
And I'm like, for me, that was like, what the hell?
They
be nosy and shit.
Me, are you
nosy as fuck.
Yeah. So that was kind of like different for me, but you know, after a while, you get used to it. And when you come back to Germany, it's kind of a little bit like a shock, to be honest.
Is it like, is it a positive shock? Do you feel like it's like, damn, like there's some things that I took for granted in Germany?
Yeah.
Or
I mean, it has its pros and cons for sure. Like, I would say, I mean, in Germany here, everything is really complicated. A lot of paperwork, but also for me, there was a lot of paperwork in the States, to be fair.
Yeah, true.
So it's not really that easy. I mean, vacationing there is probably great, you know, how everybody sees it on TV. But living there, actually have to go for papers, do
It's
stuff.
a whole nother story living there.
Yeah.
Even now, like I like visiting America, but I know I probably like wouldn't want to live there again after living here.
I mean, in a sense, it was kind of the same process for us being here. I think when you're in when you go to a different country, it's definitely more because you got to adjust to the ways. Because I mean, I felt like that kind of when I moved out here, and I
Oh, of course,
fully was, you know, trying to integrate, is that the word, into
yeah.
the German system, and it was kind of annoying to, like, you know, do everything strictly by the books, because, you know, in Germany, like, the paperwork gotta
It's got to be right.
if it's
You got
not
to be
signed,
on time.
Yeah.
exactly. if the thing's not signed, it's like, no, you didn't sign there. You gotta reschedule another appointment.
Yeah, you got to get a whole nother appointment and come in here and sit down in this fucking dirty ass office. Yeah, I hate going to
They're so
these-
mean, bro.
They so mean. If you don't, and they speak like some other dialect of German that's really hard to understand, and like they expect you to like speak perfect German. They don't accept no English.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't understand. It's like the building that these people work in too. It's for like people that they know can't speak.
It's
German.
for foreigners.
So like, yeah. So I never understood, like, bro, why don't they have somebody in there that, like, you know, speaks, you know, English, or like,
They
you
probably
know,
like purposely hire like mean, pissed off people and
it's
shit.
like the DMV in the States.
Yeah.
I was about to say, what about the DMV?
Yo,
there?
the
Like,
DMV, they be wilding in the States. You be like,
Yeah,
bro,
true.
like, just make my new ID. I ain't tell you to get this fucking job. You know what I'm saying?
But I can imagine that job is like pretty like frustrating though, to like have to deal with all these people who barely speak your language all day, every day.
Yeah,
But
but
probably
don't you?
turn you into an asshole too.
Yeah, nah, but don't you think you should be into a job that, you know, they should make jobs that, you know, people are willing to help people like that? In a
Yeah, but
sense?
how many people like are really willing to do that shit, and how many people just going there for the check? You know, how many
Yeah, that's
people
what
are
I'm
really
saying. I
doing that
think-
shit out of the goodness of their heart? You know,
I mean, it's like being a teacher. I feel like those type of jobs is like being a teacher. You know, if you're a teacher, you gotta love students. You
Yeah,
gotta love
what you
kids.
do. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because these are people's lives at these you know.
yeah. At the end of the day,
You know,
you
some of these
deciding-
people are fleeing places.
Yeah, you deciding a big chunk of their life on whether they get to stay here or not.
Yeah.
But they be heartless about that shit.
Yeah, bro.
Sometimes I be sitting in the waiting room, and then like a family of refugees will come out, and the dad will like grab his kid, and they all look sad because they got denied or some shit. Like, you gotta kind of be a little heartless for that job. You can't just be passing everybody.
Yeah, so, you know, so the States, you said the paperwork and stuff was a little difficult.
You was trying to get like a green card or something? I know that process is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the green card, and then also like, even though like if you wanted to have a driver's license there, I think I did like 2 different driver license tests there. So I was like, if I don't know how to drive by now, then I don't know. 'Cause
You
it's
had to
like-
do how was the process with the drive? I'm
It's
interested
supposed to
because
be much harder out
yeah,
here.
because I did it the opposite. I came out here and I had to do the German
Yeah.
license, and I was like, damn, this shit is hard as fuck. But how was it for you?
It was more also because of my papers that I came with, basically. So I came like kind of half ready to
Okay.
live there, you know. So it kind of was hard for me to like say, hey, I have these papers that I can offer you. Can I do a freaking license? And I was not able to drive with my German driver's license there for a little bit.
Okay.
So it was kind of like annoying to me because I was like, ugh, there's
Yeah.
just so much going on. And
That
you
shit
just
is
wanna
always
live normal. That's all.
that shit is always annoying.
That's weird with driver's license though. I always thought like in Germany, I thought because it was so hard to, you know, they got to go through a little harder process. I feel like with us, we just pay $50, take
Yeah.
the fucking permit.
I paid like $25
Yeah.
for my driver's license,
And you
took
can
one
drive.
test, and I couldn't even really drive when they didn't even make me parallel park. but I was like 16 or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you would think in Germany, like you have to like take those courses and learn
and pay
shit
all
like
that money, right?
Yeah, and then the driving, the speed limits are you have to be way safer in Germany. So why the fuck in America they make foreigners,
Maybe it's just the same thing. Like she was a foreigner there, so she had to come with more paperwork and like blah blah blah.
Yeah, they really tried just to make it hard on you, and that's it. I had the feeling.
But you never had the notion to like after the split to like stay in America and try to make a life over there?
Yeah, I did have the option, but it was like, I was sitting there and was like, okay, so you want to go this route, you want to go that route, and of course, I mean, I could have said no, I'm gonna stay here and try and fight and all that stuff, but on the other day, I just didn't know too much, I would say, at the end of the day, and I just wanted to. That's the typical German thing, I guess, to go the safer route.
Yeah,
because if I go back, I know I'm gonna be on my feet.
Yeah,
in
of course.
like 1.5 months, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, this
California
is your country.
fucking expensive.
Yeah,
For sure.
believe me.
For sure. It's like, on top of it, it's like you're from here, so you're gonna.
Yeah.
Do you feel? Are you happy for that choice?
I mean, I think you always wonder what would have happened. What if you took the other round, and what would have happened till now? But at the end of the day, it's like, I think I made the best choice for me. And I mean, I have a good, solid job now. I provide for myself, so it's
That's
fine.
what's up. That's what matters.
Sure.
Because I had that same choice a few years ago when I divorced, like, my first wife. And I had the choice to, like, go back home, which for me at the time, I would have felt, like, kind of defeated because of everything I had built over here.
True.
Because I was over here way longer than 2 years, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, do I want to go home and regroup, or do I want to just stay out here and keep the train going, without her? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
And, the whole process it was scary, but, I ended up staying out here and, to the point where, like, I was, like, kind of homeless for the first few weeks, you know what I'm saying? But, I kind of refused to go back home. But I could have, but in hindsight, like, I'm glad that I didn't. Because I told you before, like, I left the opportunity in California to even come out here to make a name for myself. You know what I'm saying?
So it's like, why would you, make that, you kind of learn from that too. You built something out here, learn from Cali that, yeah, man. Like, for me, it was, I got out the Army, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm staying. But I mean,
but did you already have your daughter at that point?
No. Actually, I think I told you this. We had, I got out the Army. It was the greatest day of my life. Like, I felt like I had a child or something. I was so happy to get the fuck out the Army, and like, we was like, let's go to Prague. You know what I'm saying? And my girl got pregnant in Prague.
Nigga was too happy.
I was happy. So I mean, it was just, like I said, for me it was a little different because I had to, kind of go through ropes to build a way. I had to really fully integrate, and because I was, I know a lot of people that, they get out the Army and they work at Taco Bell and shit like that, and they stay at it. And I remember when I had to do that when I, first got out. It was my first stepping stone because that was the only way that I could stay in Germany because of, like, my self-esteem. I didn't want to go back home.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
So I was working there, and it was like, no offense to anybody that's watching this that works in Ansbach, but they were kind of like, I've been here for 40 years. And I'm like, dog, I'm not trying to let that be me. Fuck that.
Exactly.
Nah, it's just like, I'm about to go to the, to the school. I'm about
Get
to
the fuck up out that bitch.
Yeah, try to find a German job. And, bro, because you making, like, dollars over there.
Yeah, I used to feel like that when I had, like, a factory job back in the day. Like, and I would be there. I think I worked at, like, this carpet factory once when I was, like, I don't know, like 19, 20 or some shit. And, like, I was, like, the youngest, freshest dude there and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I worked there a few months, and, like, I would see people and talk to people, like, in the break room that had been there for, like you said, 40, 50 years. And,
bro.
And they would be like, they would be looking at me like, you could do this too if you just if you just buckle down and blah blah blah, and I'll be thinking in my head like, nigga, I ain't trying to be here for no.
Yeah, bro.
This is a stepping stone for me. I'm just
like,
trying to get a little bread right now so I can parlay that
especially
shit.
for me, bro. Like, I was up there, you know, I knew it was a stepping stone, and I would, you know, when you talk to a motherfucker and you say something positive that you want to do with their life, with your life, and they'll be like, nah, you can't do that. It's kind of hard on the German side to, you know, switch over. They try to like bring you down with them, like,
Yeah, because they didn't do the shit.
yeah, and they would say that, like, man, you might as well just stay here. You go, you know, I've been here for 40 years. You know, the old heads and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, nigga,
They're already like, what's it called? They're already getting like the German way of thinking being negative.
Yeah.
You know, like trying to like, hey, you cannot do that and stuff. I have the feeling they adapt to that in a way, right? 'Cause, I
I
mean,
feel like most people are like that because, like, I was talking to my girl about this earlier. Like, some people just gonna work their job, you know, even though they don't like it, but they gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's what they found. You know what I'm saying? And
They stay comfortable.
It's they comfortable. It's paying the bills. You know, it's they routine. They stuck in it for years. You know what I'm saying? And you need people like that. You need people that work at, like, you know, Walmart, McDonald's and shit. Some people, you know, and no offense, but some people are workers and some people are, you know, bosses. Some people, you know, everybody ain't meant to like start a business or like work their dream job or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just the fucking circle of life.
I feel like the most people that are like that is because they didn't, you know, because they surrounded themselves with people who, you know, doubted their dreams and stuff, and they get into that same cycle.
Yeah,
and
they get to that same mentality.
You know what I'm saying? I always knew, you know, growing up, you know, I always knew, like, you gotta keep grinding. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm always like, I need to find different ways to get that bag. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll be trying to get that bag. So I'm just like, bro, okay, fuck it. I'm gonna work here. I'm gonna try to do this, move up. You know what I'm saying? It might be slow, but I'm gonna keep fucking doing it, like, until I get that money. Till I'm in Dubai, nigga. I always say that to you.
You always
like,
say
bitch,
that
we
shit.
going to Dubai. What's this shit blow up, nigga?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, for sure. But
For sure.
I feel like we drifted off a little bit. We got a little.
I mean, we always drift off
Yeah.
to different subjects and shit like that, but that's the nature of the podcast. But you want to get in? I want to get into this first topic.
Let's get into it, man.
Get a woman's opinion on this. I don't know if you've seen this.
All right, before we get into these topics, you know what I'm saying? I've just got to remind everyone 100% real
Honesty. Yeah.
about your thoughts. You feel me?
Don't
All right.
hold nothing
Don't hold
back.
nothing back.
I'm all about realness and honesty, so we're good.
Okay.
And the life of a stay-at-home husband. Time to check your misogyny at the door and buckle up. First thing I do is I make my wife some coffee after making the bed. Then I do my wife's laundry, assert my dominance over all I have left. Then I make my wife some breakfast.
Yeah. So this guy, I'm just gonna pause it right there, but this guy is a stay-at-home dad or husband, not dad. He don't have no kids.
A stay-at-home husband is a man who's willing to do his part in an equal relationship, regardless of what society tells you it should be.
Okay. I think the video is longer, but I think you get the gist of it. So, this guy made a TikTok that ended up going viral. And in the full TikTok, he's showing like how his wife is, or his girlfriend is like the breadwinner in the situation. Like, she goes to work and he stays at home. He cooks and cleans, make sure the place is clean when she get back, make sure it's a hot plate of food on the table when she get back. You know what I'm saying? And does all the little extras. Like, the roles
Switch.
are reversed, you know? And he's totally fine with that. And supposedly she's totally fine with it. But you as a woman, would you be okay with like a man that was content and only like cooking and cleaning for you?
No. Sorry. My first question is actually, what is she doing? That would be my question.
Well, apparently she's doing something that's supporting both of them. You know, she paying all the bills. He ain't working. He worked 0 job.
Is she like doing OnlyFans or something?
No, she like a business lady. I gather from the shit she was wearing in the TikTok and stuff.
Okay.
But why wouldn't you prefer
Yeah, that's what I
that
was gonna ask.
situation?
So I don't know. For me, it's like I'm a little old school, to be honest. I do also like, in general, like in a relationship, for example, I know a lot of women maybe may not agree on this type of thing, but I think, for example, it's also okay to, that the man leads in
Yeah.
a way,
Mm-hmm.
maybe not too much, but like in a certain way where it's like still okay. I do think, it's cool if both like definitely add on to each other, like with bringing home the bread, and breadwinners and that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what's it called when a man is more like, a woman is submissive.
Yeah,
That's what I
woman
want
is
to say.
submissive. Yeah.
I don't even think that's like too bad, to be honest.
Yeah.
In a certain way. So for me as a woman, seeing that, like I think I wouldn't find a man like that attractive.
It would hurt the attraction
and that's
points.
what I wanted to add. I think in this situation, it all has to do with the partners. If whatever is okay for them and whatever is attractive to them, whatever they're equal on, whatever they decide is equal.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters. You know what I'm saying? If they're okay with that, then they're okay with that. Whatever is their balance in their
If
relationship
it's like
is what
if
matters.
it's like a dominant woman and a submissive man.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what they're okay, they're the only ones that have to deal with each other in the first place anyways. I mean.
But I feel like any woman would maybe be okay with that for a time. Like maybe a younger chick that's getting her money, she find her a little, Paul's boy toy or some shit that just stay at home and fuck the shit out of her and cook and clean for her and shit, She's like, this is nice. It's cute. What he brought me a cupcake today or some shit. But a few years of that, she gonna start looking at that nigga like this. Like, yo, why don't you get out and get some motherfucking money,
I
nigga?
don't
Then
feel like that.
she probably, if she a business lady, she probably gonna be seeing other bosses, men with power and money, and she gonna compare her dude to them. Like,
nah, I wouldn't say that.
Look at you.
I think it's whatever.
you bitch ass nigga.
Look. I think it's whatever the person. It depends, bro. Like, cause that woman that is getting the cooking and the cleaning for us. It's about what they appreciate. If they appreciate that, you know what I'm saying, that that's all they appreciate and that's all they want in a man, they would be attractive to that type of man that does that. I don't think they would change that about themselves.
I almost called him Kevin Gates, but like old buddy was saying, Rambo, what a woman wants, like, ebbs and flows like the wind, you know what I'm saying? One day she might want this, another day she might want that. And I think majority of the time a woman wants to feel a certain level of like security and like taken care of and like feel like they man is leading, like she was saying, you know what I'm saying?
You don't think she can express that? Let's say in this relationship, you don't think if she were to change how she felt, you don't think she'll be able to express that in a relationship, and he's probably okay with getting the job and stuff like that. That's just something they probably agreed on.
But now this nigga, what he gonna work at? McDonald's? He ain't got no work skills. This nigga been cleaning the bathroom for 5 years.
I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean he don't got no skills.
You gonna be a janitor?
Anybody can clean, and I mean, you kind of have to do it.
No disrespect to janitors.
Look, you kind of got to do that in a relationship, anyways. Too, you gotta,
Of course,
you
I
maintain.
help my girl clean, and I cook sometimes.
Exactly.
But that's a courtesy that I'm extending to my wife. But I'm still bringing home the money and working
I
and
think
shit.
that's just. But that's the thing, though. Like when it comes to something like that, I think that's just a stereotype of a role that a man has to have. Like a man does. I don't think a man has
definitely
to.
is.
Yeah, it's just a stereotype. Like, who's to say that a man can't stay home and do something?
Society.
Society. Then that's the thing. But there's a lot of things that society has pushed through.
But this is an
throughout
old school.
Yeah, but it's some old school.
Trope,
and back then, it used to be old school not to date within your own race. I mean, that was old school at the time. Black families are still kind of like that. Old timers, like, oh, you with that white girl?
Yeah, but some shit was warranted and some shit was crazy. Like the examples you just gave. But like, I think shit like that is like contributing to the emasculation of men. You know what I'm saying? Like all this toxic masculinity bullshit they pushing trying to feminize men and turn men into bitches. Like it's supposed to be. You can't be a man no more. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something wrong with it or something.
What does cleaning and cooking define you less than a man?
Like I said, I do that, but that ain't. I would feel like less of a man if that was the only thing I did. You know, I would never be content with only doing that. Not even like in a relationship, but like in my life. Cause I'm too ambitious for that anyway. You know what I'm saying?
People got different ideas of what makes them a man.
Yeah.
So.
And
Yeah,
apparently
you can't.
old buddy making sure the house clean is what makes him feel like a man or whatever he
I mean,
identifies as.
man,
I don't know what he
in his relationship, he fulfills whatever him and his girl agreed on.
So you don't never think they argue about him not paying for shit? He be like, we always go out with Becky. And I always have to slide my credit card under the table.
Look, she might be going out there getting the bread and being the breadwinner, but cleaning up and cooking and doing that shit, all the shit that your mother did and your wife does, shit ain't an easy job either. I'm not saying
it's not a task, but is it a task for a man though?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, me personally,
would you do it? Would you?
No, I wouldn't. But
okay.
But at the same time, that's me. You know what I mean? That's
another
idea.
question that I got for you, both of y'all.
Yeah, all right, what?
Do you think that the woman in that situation would be more likely to cheat?
No, I don't think so. Because if they agreed
Not
on
a
that,
little bit more likely.
No, look, if they agreed on that, because you're still putting the stereotype of your thoughts of that role being in there, like, you know, but if they agreed on that, she's know what she's putting herself into. I don't think a person would change.
You agree on, how many times you done agreed on some shit with your girl and she still bring it up and fuck with you about it and shit?
I mean, but that's something that's something he's actively doing every day. You know what I'm saying? That's not like, you know, don't do this, and you know what I'm saying? It's totally different. Like, I don't know, bro. I mean, put it like this. I wouldn't do that. Like,
Let her answer the question, though.
Yeah.
You think a woman would be more likely to cheat in that situation?
I mean, I see it like a
If
little
Drake
different.
hit her up?
Well, I mean, Drake, nobody probably would be safe. But like,
that's honesty.
Yeah.
no.
I got you.
But like, no, all jokes aside, but like, I think I view this a little different because there's more to see. That's again where women come into this aspect. I think like 50 routes right now through this whole topic.
Okay.
Because I think, for example, that, okay, they agreed on like living like that and they're fine with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then first off, I think about the guy. It's kind of like the same if he would be the woman. Like say, typical role, man works, woman doesn't work, does all the household.
Mm-hmm.
Where is she after 5 to 10 years when he decides he wants to dump her? It could be the other way around when the guy is just at home all the time doing homework, not doing really anything with his life because he agreed to that life.
Yeah.
What does it do to him after 5 to 10 years,
Yeah,
for
that's a good point.
example?
That's a
Right?
good point.
Yeah,
That's
true
one
that.
aspect. The other aspect is you can agree on that maybe for a certain amount of time. And then I believe every human being changes in a certain amount of time. You're not
Exactly.
going to be the same in 2 years, 3 years.
Exactly.
So it's like, what then? You know, like you always have to kind of develop with each other.
Yeah, because
that's-
I think that might be something you agree on initially, but come on,
Yeah.
like
Well,
you got
nobody's saying they can remain permanent though. Like that could change. They could be like, you know what, nigga. You know, a matter of fact, I want you to go get a motherfucking job.
What
you
to
know?
do? Like, no, but this is the agreement though. I'm cooking and cleaning over here. She could be like, nah, nigga, we always going out with Miranda and Becky and they husbands. They pay, and I have to step up to the plate and pay all the time.
How you think the sex life is like? They probably like.
Man,
She's probably like.
She
Turn
probably
your ass around.
Yeah, she probably sticking her finger up the nigga butt and all type of crazy shit. Pause. He probably the submissive one in the bed too. Ain't no telling what the hell they got going on after listening to what
Maybe
Rambo
like
was talking
shit
about.
Like that.
in
You
here.
know, there's weird people out here.
They probably got some kinky ass situation going on. But I think any majority of women wouldn't be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, in my younger years, I've been in situations to where, you know, I've been in a relationship with a woman and, you know, she might have been another stepping stone in my life, you know, and, you know, I might have took advantage of the situation a little bit. and let them do what they did until I got on my feet and shit like that. But I would never expect anybody to like put up with that from a man for too long. You know what I'm saying? It is a gender role, but I think it's a warranted one.
But I think she's made a good point. Like the most important one, I don't think that anybody like in today's society, a woman shouldn't be able to just sit home and not do anything, and then guys shouldn't sit down and do nothing, because at the same time, like exactly what she said, like, you know, you got to look out for yourself because anything can happen.
Definitely.
You know? And I'm not even talking about a separate, you know, somebody separating or cheating. Like, you know, it could be a death or something to where you know.
That's what happens, like, I think all the time in relationships. Like, I mean, you see it, you know, within your friends or like people, you know, hang out with. Like, as soon as they get into a relationship, they're just dependent on the other person.
Yeah.
There is no real life of its own anymore. And that gets unattractive to the other one.
Definitely.
And it goes downhill from there.
Exactly.
You always have to keep your own thing going on. Doesn't matter.
Sure.
You want to be submissive or not.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do, I guess. Nigga.
I think he a bitch ass nigga.
About to hit you up like, I come clean the fuck out of your house. Nah, but hey.
Nah, but speaking of breakups, your boy
I already
Michael
know.
B. Jordan. They caught him at the Warriors game looking
Oh,
sad.
this is a video he's talking about. He's like, damn, should I have done that?
Yeah, so apparently
I ain't trying to laugh
news.
at the nigga.
He ain't trying to laugh at the
If
nigga.
he's upset, you know.
But he should have known though. It's like the Brittany Renner situation. Like he should have known what he was getting
Nah,
into,
she's
man.
a little savage.
Yeah, she more savage than. But Lori pretty savage too. You know, Lori Harvey, Michael B. Jordan situation. I mean, I feel a little weird to be talking about that shit, but it's like hot news in the media right now. But it is a little intriguing that she was like hopping around so much, like before him, like Future. Who else she was dating?
I don't even know. I just know
It was a
Future.
lot of niggas, like high profile dudes.
But I
you
do know that about her. Like, a lot of people say in the media that she's been around.
I think she was like with Diddy's son, and maybe Diddy dated her too after
Didn't
that or
Diddy
something.
date her?
Some shit like that.
Yeah, it was like that.
She was out there in them streets, nigga.
How old is she?
She young, ain't she?
I mean,
Like 20.
that's
she-
probably why, nigga.
She going through her whole phase, but very publicly.
yeah, I mean,
But she
that's-
never speaks out though.
Do you feel like she needs to though? Because I think just regular.
I think that like lends to the mystique that's around her, that she never like comments on her situation. She just be out there in them streets.
Well, she's like, they always say she's like Future, basically, just in a female form.
But Future fuck
But is
over
this-
somebody
is
and
that a
make a
bad
song
thing?
about it.
Is that a bad thing though? That she's like that.
What?
Do you feel like that's a bad
She
thing? that
she 25.
You think that's a bad thing that she goes out there and shit like that? Because I mean, don't you think at that age, we was doing the same?
I mean, when
we
you
was doing
high
the same shit?
profile like that, like I would say you wouldn't want that stigma on yourself as a woman, because you would want to like be able to land a husband. But she had like this generation's Denzel Washington, like probably ready to propose to her and shit, and she broke up with him. And he whining and dining up, flying all that. What you got to say?
I just want to say, but do we know why? Like,
I don't know why they broke up.
They were just saying like she was deleting everything of him, like all the pictures of him on the page.
Damn.
And then he, I think, still has one picture of her up or kept up. I don't know.
She was
Like,
like,
So
I
you
need
think it
that
was his fault?
I'm not sure.
I think
Like,
she dumped.
what y'all think?
I think she dumped that nigga.
Maybe she. What I'm talking about the reason. I think maybe she cheated on him or he. I don't know.
I think she seen somebody. She caught the eye of somebody else that's higher profile than him, and we'll hear about her being with some other dude in about a month's time or some shit like that.
But they said they're both up. I read something saying that they're both upset about the breakup.
I think she ain't sweating that shit at all, man. She like she thinking like, I'm bad as fuck. All these motherfuckers want me. They put my names in songs and shit. Like I don't think she pressed, as they say.
He's probably devastated because he seems like a good guy. Like you said, he was wine and dining her.
Yeah.
But one thing I don't like is that this generation, like a year ago, was like pushing it like they were like a power couple. That's the shit that kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, and she ain't did shit.
Yeah,
How
like
the fuck she a power couple.
they were like, I think it's off of him though.
Yeah,
because-
definitely off of him. But she, did look good like next to him and shit. But she like another Kylie Jenner, Kim Kardashian type that has no real talent. She just kind of
She's
really attractive or
Steve
whatever.
Harvey's
She's
child.
just there.
There ain't no talent. And she is stepchild. She ain't even that nigga blood.
Wow.
I think Steve Hart, she like the daughter of his like new wife or some shit like that. Yeah, but I mean, I almost said the B word. Women go through their whole phase. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's healthy. She just going through it more publicly, like you were saying earlier. You believe everybody got to go through like a whole phase to like sort out what they want in life.
If they have to, I mean, I don't think every person, is maybe has the urge, honestly, to really do that. Because I think there are some people who are really just not interested in doing all kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
But like most people do, of course. And I do think it's helpful in general.
Of course.
Not, of course.
Not
they're
going
fun,
too
but-
overboard.
Yeah, but not going too overboard, but just to see,
what you
that
like.
what you like, that you didn't miss out on anything.
Yeah.
You don't have the feeling you be marrying the first person that you're dating, and then sit there.
'Cause I think that's a mistake. Like all these people that like, or maybe some people meet and it's love at first sight, and they found their soulmate on the first jump, and it works out like that. You know what I'm saying? But I think for most people,
Get a reality check, It's always
Yeah,
like
you
the
might
first
think-
phase of love.
that puppy love stuff.
Yeah, until you start living with the motherfucker, and
When you start living with a motherfucker, that's when you really know.
yeah,
Exactly.
and if you can get through that, that first couple phases of living with each other, don't put the toothpaste back on, fucking, just take off the shoes and just a little shit, you know what I'm saying?
Pissing on the toilet type
Yeah.
shit.
If you
I'm
can
still
get
working
through
on that
that,
one.
then I think that's when you really know a motherfucker, like, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, like you said, get into relationships, in the beginning, it's like, that's dangerous, But,
Because it's always like,
but the whole phase is
at
important.
first.
The whole phase is important.
Yeah, I feel like the whole phase is important.
I feel like if you don't have a whole phase and you get into a relationship,
It's always a risk that whole phase is creeping up on you.
it's creeping up on you.
Well, those are the ones who are the serial killers and then go crazy afterwards.
Really? Like sexual shit make a motherfucker be a serial
I
killer?
don't know.
I'm telling you, I think they'll make a motherfucker, like, a woman or a male cheat. you know?
Definitely, because they
You
feel
know?
like, damn, this is a good relationship, but I ain't experienced nothing else. You know what I'm saying? I remember back in the day when I was real young and I had just started, fucking this shit. Like, if I would encounter a woman, like when I was not in a relationship or nothing, I wasn't looking to be in a relationship, and she was a virgin, like I wouldn't even touch her. You know what I'm saying? Because I would be like, what if we do this and I like you, and you probably gonna like me because it's your first time, and if you like it, then it's like, oh my God, you open my eyes to a whole new world. Yeah, like that. I was about to sing that shit, but you hit it for me. And I would always be like, it would be cool for a time, but it's gonna come a time where she gonna be like, she gonna realize like, this the only meat I done had. Like I don't even know what the other meats feel like.
But I also hear that women's mentality, when it comes down to, just sex in general, they don't operate the same way as we do when we're younger.
Even
they don't
in that sense.
Nah,
Would you agree with
I mean,
that?
that's what I was gonna ask you. Is
Like, okay, explain what do you mean operate?
when you're like, for example, when we were younger as males, it's kind of like in society, at that age, kind of pushes to fuck as many bitches as you can. You know what I'm saying?
It does. Peer pressure and all type
peer
of
pressure
shit.
and all that. That's like the cool thing as a teenager. But do females like? Do they have this like these type of talks with their friends, like in this type of attitude towards their experiences with sex? Should I say
These days, I think they do. These days,
I think I believe like women are a lot more open with like topics like that more than you guys think in general.
like amongst yourselves, like when you're talking to your girlfriends and
yeah,
shit.
like how we talk and like what we talk about. I don't think there's like a big difference between male.
okay.
Also like, I also don't think, because I think men think most of the time that female needs to be like emotionally attached
Yeah,
to a
that's
guy.
that's kind of what I.
But it's not like that.
It's not like
No.
that.
She said, "No, it's not like that."
No.
So like girls are like savages too.
I
that
assumed
age.
that anyway. Like
I didn't
girls,
think that.
girls get together and talk about how dudes was probably. Is that true? Like how, like
Yeah, put us in that. What's the girl talk? What
the group chat.
put us in a group chat.
I
like,
gotta hold on.
at that age.
She gotta take a sip on that one.
I need to know this.
I would assume they would, like, the group chats be pretty savage, talking about different men and shit.
I mean, to be really honest with you, I'm not really like in a group chat with like a lot of females, and we just like all.
Okay, it
hey,
don't have to
send
be a
this and
group
that.
group chat, but just your good friend.
When you were younger, I'm
Even
talking about
now.
oh yeah, younger savage days.
or maybe not now, but
Nah,
in your savage days.
In your savage days,
Yeah.
if you had a savage day, was it like? Do girls like say that nigga was whack as fuck? Like, do they talk like how guys talk when they,
I'm just making it a silent thing, and I'll be.
Okay, she gonna plead the fifth on that one, but that
So
I think
I
that
would say they
confirms
do.
everything we just asked.
Yeah, I mean, I
Shit.
don't think, like I said, I don't think there's a big difference between how men and women talk. It's just like I think men think that women are not like that.
I don't.
I don't know.
I would assume.
I thought that. I ain't
Women
gonna
are
lie.
pretty
I thought
savage.
I would think that like guys at a young age, we're more of like, you just want to you just horny all the time. You want to have sex every second. I never felt like girls were like really like that. I feel like they're more conservative.
You had the hot chicks, the chicks that was hot, and like had the big titties because they had too many hormones flaring and shit.
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like, but still though, I feel like girls were more like, the little conservative, emotionally attached, like,
I think for the most part, because testosterone is a hell of a hormone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like when that shit kick in when you a little one, you know what I'm saying? I know I used to be in class and just teacher asked me some shit and my I can't stand up at that moment.
Yeah.
And like it would be the end of the class, time to walk out. I had to cover myself with the book bag.
Yeah.
And like I ain't even thought about no sex shit, but my shit just
my shit, the wind will blow and shit would be like, damn, like, what's going on?
and that ain't nothing but testosterone. That's what women don't understand. Like when that hormone get to pumping, like it ain't like that's what you thinking with, you know what I'm saying? Especially as a youngin',
Well, you not think about the consequences of
you ain't
kids,
nah.
none of that shit. You just be
like does that calm down when you get older?
Yeah,
For one?
gradually.
for some people. For some,
some
I would say
people.
for some people, I think once you have experiences with relationships and they're long term and shit like that.
you learn to it stays the same, but you
Yeah.
learn to try to keep it at bay. You know what I'm saying? Like I think your conscience grows more, and you be like, it be like a fight between like when you young, you only thinking with your dick. You only like your dick leading you everywhere. But when you're
Exactly.
older, you can kind of fight it off with your brain. Your brain be like, nah, you shouldn't do that, and your dick be like, but I really want to though.
Yeah.
And your brain be like, nah, you got this and that, consequences and shit, But as a teen boy, hormones raising, you only thinking with that.
For sure.
Is it like that for women?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
When you going through like puberty and shit?
I wouldn't say that that's the same how we think. I think for women it's a little bit the other way around. The older we get, it's a little different.
Okay.
I believe. I mean,
When you was coming up, because I feel like it's flipped on its head these days because like sex, like just this generation, like sex is pushed on them so heavily and all this. all these ideologies and it's sex and everything they see and watch, and it's sold everywhere.
Clothing,
Yeah.
different types of clothing.
Yeah, different type
style.
of clothing, all the trends on the internet, to pose your ass like this, shake your ass like that,
Mhm.
the music,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, when we was
Kevin
coming
Gates
up,
talking about he eats ass,
Yeah.
all types of shit.
yeah,
you
all
know.
type of shit, you know. I think being like, as a woman, being like more sexually, what's the word I'm looking for? Promiscuous is like cooler these days, you know. Women have kind of like shed that stigma of like a woman like sleeping around, like, you know, like Amber Rose and her slut walking, trying to take the sting out of the word slut and change it into something which it never changed for me. I still think a slut is a negative thing to call a woman, and no woman should want to be known as the slutty chick or whatever. But yeah, I think kids have way more pressure to like be sexually active these days.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly what you said, through social media and the access. It's so easy access for them now to see these things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. It's easy to go like porn free on the internet.
Exactly. Like, you know, back then you had to sneak into, you know, your parents' shit and find shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
know?
you just had to find that Playboy magazine or the
Yeah.
fucking BBW magazine with the chick laying on there. With the, I ain't gonna
Yeah.
say too much, but
Yeah.
you
But
know,
inside of like,
or you had to watch like you had to sneak at night and like watch the Dirty Channel.
exactly. And nowadays that shit right on TikTok. Easy access, nigga.
I don't know about TikTok.
I'm
Yeah, I
saying
was
they
gonna
have.
say.
I'm saying they
Well,
have.
yeah,
it's
the
just
booty
like,
shit is
it's
on
the,
TikTok.
The
Yeah,
ass shit, and then the, you know, just the
It's
content that's
wild
pushed
too.
up.
It's like
Some things are
some
borderline.
videos just it is only be a chick and some spandex, and she'll pull them up in her ass, and then do a little wobble or some shit, and
Exactly.
then that's the whole video, and have 15 million views,
Yeah.
and that be her whole account, just ass.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? As like
Oh,
grown
what
up
a-
man.
I think my part, like, I think like do whatever you gotta do to get the bag, but I don't really give a fuck. Like, honestly, if you ask me, they don't bother me. Like,
I don't think that's what she was asking.
No,
Like,
I of course it's not bothering you,
Mhm.
probably. But like just like what outlook on a woman does that give? Does that give to you?
let me see how I'm gonna approach this answer. I mean, when I see that, I think when any man see that, all he's thinking about is what she's showing. You know what I'm saying? He ain't thinking about, oh, I wonder what her personality's like.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, for sure.
I wonder, you know, what her life goals are or something like that. He's just thinking about some ass. Okay, I swiped and there's some ass in front of my face.
Yeah, exactly.
right now.
I mean, it's even like when you meet a person for the first time. I mean, the first thing is attraction. You know,
Yeah.
you're not like already like, geez, like, you know, I love the way she. I don't, you know what I mean? You ain't think that it's
Well, it
attraction.
depends on how a woman present herself when you first meet her, though. If she stepped out all sexy and she's showing a whole bunch of skin and she got the skin tight pants on, and you assume automatically what she came
Exactly.
for. But if she come there, you know, she got a library glasses on, she covered up, you know what I'm saying? She got a pantsuit on or some shit like that, my mind don't automatically go to sexual object, you know. But when I see them booty TikToks, like boom, sexual object. I think anybody, even women looking at that shit, probably be like, why is she showing her ass so much? But a lot of women get a lot of money like that and a lot of attention like that, and it's like it's became a business online for women to just show their bodies off and stuff, and you can't really knock them. I mean, like, Bad Baby made $50 million motherfucking dollars on fucking OnlyFans when she turned 18. You know,
Crazy.
there's a lot of men out there
Smart though. She getting the bag.
smart on her part, but
Maybe consequences
Pretty
in the
sad.
long run.
pretty sad for all those guys that was waiting on her to turn 18 just to spend that OnlyFans money on her and shit. It's a crazy world, man. I want to talk about a pretty sensitive topic, you know what I'm saying? Recently, this guy, I watch a few of his videos on YouTube. His name Matt Walsh.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a arbiter of truth, you know what I'm saying? Like, he like a real like laid back, like straight to the point dude, and he's kind of on like a mission to like dispel like transgenderism and like gender ideologies and stuff like that, and like trying to mostly he don't mess around with kids. He don't like how all this sexual stuff is being pushed on kids in like schools by teachers and like, you know, politicians and stuff. And like he'll tell somebody who has like gender dysphoria to their face, or somebody who claims to be transgender or the other sex, he'll tell them to their face like, you have a mental illness. Like you, I know what you believe. I know what you want me to call you, but you're not gonna force me to lie just to coddle your beliefs. You know what I'm saying? It's like you are what you're born.
Damn,
is what
that's
he
fucked
believes.
up.
He
That
pretty.
sounds fucked up.
He was on Dr. Phil with like 2 trans people, and he told them, he was like, what if I told you that my pronouns were like,
This is a white guy?
yeah, he's a white guy. His name Matt Walsh. But I'm gonna play a little. He dropped a documentary called "What Is a Woman?" because he says that like he always debates people on the other side of this argument, and he says that you can easily dispel whatever they saying because they don't want to be argued with. When you argue with them, they want to call you a bigot or like if you have a contrary belief than what theirs is, and they want to act like you're like the worst person ever when you you just believe what you believe, just like they believe what they believe. You know what I'm saying? But he dropped a documentary called "What Is a Woman?" And he visited Africa, the Maasai tribe, and asked them a few questions about what they thought about like womanhood and gender roles and stuff like that. No, that's Michael B. Jordan right
I was
there.
about to be like him.
Oh, let me find the right position.
In Maasai community, it will not exist at all.
Doesn't exist?
Wait. He asked
What if a man decides that
Yeah.
his gender identity is woman?
A woman has its own duty, and a man has its own duty, and a lady cannot do the duty of a man, and a man cannot do a duty of a woman.
Can a man become a woman?
No.
No?
said no.
What about a transgender?
Okay.
Transgender?
No.
No?
It will look like if you want to become a lady but you're a man, you have something wrong in
Something
your mind.
wrong.
Something wrong in your family, something wrong in you.
What about if someone was non-binary?
Come again?
He said, come
Non-binary?
again.
You know,
But yeah, basically he was asking people that aren't of like the Western world, like Western society, and like what it's becoming, like people like that's still like living off the land, tribes people and stuff, like what they thought about how Western society is kind of trying to bend the genders and say that you can be whatever you feel pretty much. And pretty much the dudes in the tribe was like, that's there's something wrong with you if you think like that, you know what I'm saying? And he was asking a lot of people in America in the streets, like he would walk up to them and be like, what is a woman? And nobody could define it, you know what I'm saying? Like he would ask the trans person in the street, like, he'd be like, do you identify as a woman? And they would be like, yes. And he would be like, okay, so what is that? And they would be like, they would pause and they would be like, well, it's whatever I want it to be. And he was like, well, if you don't have a definition for it, then how can you identify with it, you know?
That's a good point.
And then they would like walk away from him. And he interviewed like politicians, and all of them walked out on the interview because he was just asking simple questions. And he kind of exposed how the powers that be are spewing certain ideologies and certain ways of thinking about sex and gender, but when challenged, they don't have a argument to stand on. They just want to call you. They want to immediately go to calling you names, calling you a bigot, calling you this, calling you that, without having the debate, because his belief is what they teaching and affirming to kids and stuff like that is not based in truth. It's just solely based on feelings and stuff, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. I get it. I mean, I'm not saying I agree with him, but I mean, I get it. I mean, I feel like anything that you say, even on this topic, like that's the first thing that, you know, you can't even have that discussion with somebody without, you know, if you disagree with it, them saying something like negative about your actual belief, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I kind of get what he did. I definitely got to watch more of that documentary. It's kind of interesting.
It's a crazy documentary. I should have sent you the link to it before yesterday, so you could have watched it. But he also highlighted these two doctors, right? It was these two doctors. I can't remember their name. But they coined the phrases, a few phrases of like, they started the whole gender ideology thing and how a kid could decide to be another sex, you know. It was, one of the doctors did like circumcisions, and he had two boys that came to him for circumcisions, and he started to do the one guy's circumcision, and something went horribly wrong, and they burned his dick off.
Jesus.
Yeah. And so they didn't do the circumcision on the other boy. And I think they were twins, if I'm not mistaken. I might be, but so he told the parents, like, just tell the boy that he's a girl and make him a girl. Dress him up like a girl, do all the stuff of a girl, make him do that, you know, and see if he accepts it, you know. It was an experiment for him. And he experimented on them up until they was like 10 years old, and he would make them do sexual acts with each other and all type of stuff. And they ended up like the person that they turned into a girl because of the accident, like rejected when he got out of the house and was 18 and got on with his life. He rejected being a woman and tried to go back to being a man, but he was already so psychologically messed up, he ended up committing suicide. And the other guy committed suicide too from the experiments that they did on him and stuff. And the other doctor experimented on people in prison, like did all kind of crazy sexual experiments on them. And he had the belief that humans in general are sexual beings, no matter the age. He was like, even a baby can have an orgasm. And he
what the fuck?
Yeah, and he had like charts like experiments he done did, and like the ages that he's witnessed like people have orgasms and stuff like that. And these two doctors are like the pioneers of like transgenderism and like the drugs that block hormones and all that stuff. And like for me, the documentary really highlighted like how institutionalized and popularized it's became to attach, for a kid to attach themselves to the LGBT community, whether they would have been gay or trans or whatever. Because as a kid, like you want to fit in. Everybody got a phase when they a kid where, you know, they want to understand themselves more in the world, and they want to be a part of something. You know, they might feel a little weird. You know, feel like they ain't got no group or tribe to attach themselves to and like affirm their identity in, you know. And back in the day, that could be a number of things, you know what I'm saying? You could want to be a goth, or, you know, normal things. You could want to be a jock. You could want to be a cheerleader, you know. You could want to be whatever, you know. But these days, the media's made it so cool and so interesting to be a part of this group that's the LGBT. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. But it's like a fad these days, you know? And it's something that a kid can attach themselves to and convince themselves that they belong to, whether or not they would have believed that if that didn't exist, I don't know. But I think kids are really impressionable. And they can, you know, kids have imaginations and shit. Like, kids believe Santa Claus is real at a point.
Yeah, of course.
And that's, as an adult, you realize that's make believe.
Did they ever talk about in the documentary about like the children that they say that are born like with the chromosomes? Like, you know, remember what I was talking to you about with the different, like some doctors believe that like some people are born with a female brain, and that's what makes them, you know, something within their genetics that made them. Did they touch
really,
bases on that?
They didn't really touch on that in the documentary. I think he has kind of touched on not the brain thing, but the,
you know, just the genetic aspect.
He's touched on like the hermaphrodite aspect of it, like how you can be kind of born as both sex, but not with only one of them working. And he would say like, because it's, you know, it's some people who believe, there's some people who born with like one limb or something, like one arm missing or something like that, but they not identifying as a one arm person or a one leg person or something like that. He was like, it's a deformity that happened and it's unfortunate, but it don't really mean that you the other sex. You know what I'm saying? In his opinion. Yeah,
but genetically,
he really believes it's a mental.
It's like a illness.
It's a mental illness. It's gender dysphoria or whatever. And he interviewed. I want to over talk about this shit too much, but he interviewed like therapists, and they would coin themselves gender affirming therapists. You know, like they would help a child figure out what their gender is because their parents didn't want to assign them a gender, you know, and they would do this at ages like 3 and 4 and 2 and stuff like that, which I think is insane.
I think it's insane too.
Like I said, kids at that age, they believe Santa Claus is real. They might believe they a fairy or something like that, but that they don't have the brain capacity to decide the rest of their life and go on all these hormone blockers and
that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like leave the kids alone, man. Let them, like, you know what I'm saying? If it's been happening, I'm not saying nothing about, you know, transgenders or anything, or, you know, being gay or whatever, but like if it's been occurring without the influences and stuff like that and the pushes, like, just don't fuck with the kids, bro. Like, that's all I'm saying. I don't care about nothing else. It's like when you start, you know, putting these things onto children without them even really having the choice, because you know what I'm saying? Like you said, children are very easily influenced and stuff like that. You know, don't start doing it within the schools and, you know, all this other crazy shit. Like, because that's crazy. Like, 3 years old. Come on, bro. Like, that's.
And he interviewed a dad that he out on bail in Canada right now, awaiting like his prison sentence, just because he wouldn't call his son his daughter. It's a law in Canada to where if a kid say they the other sex, you have to just go with it. You can't say nothing against it, you know. And a doctor can evaluate a kid and administer them hormone blockers and sex change surgery without the parents' consent. If the parents speak out against it, then they lock you up.
That's wild. That's wild.
Like, what is that? Like, but I wanted to ask you, like, can you define what a woman is?
Can I define what a woman is? I mean, to be honest, I mean, of course, there are certain things how to define womanhood and all that stuff. I just be thinking about the whole topic that you just said right now. It's like what I'm always asking myself is, why do we define people after their sexual orientation in general? Like, why is that even a point in general?
Yeah.
Why do I need to care about if you like boys, girls, or both, or
Yeah.
That is my first question in general. Like, I don't have the capacity to understand that, first of all.
Totally agree.
And like, because in my opinion, I don't care. Like, everybody should do whatever they feel comfortable with, I mean, we nowadays, if you go outside on the street, like, how many people do you see who like dress really weird, random, they do whatever. But then it's like, okay, cool, hey, they found themselves, like, just let them be. They don't hurt anybody, It's like, why do people always have to like judge other people? And it's like,
but it's not like, cause you say you see somebody on the street, they dress weird and you assume whatever, but they cool, they living their life and stuff like that. But like, I think the LGBT people made it like that, to where their sexuality is their whole identity, and they want to shout it to the mountaintops, to the world, like, I came out the closet, I'm gay. And then everybody tell them they a hero, you know what I'm saying? Especially trans, like Caitlyn Jenner came out and said she wanted to turn herself into a woman at 60 years old, and she won the Woman of the Year award that year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think
they made it like that.
I think in a sense I understand the celebration because society is such against it. So to be able to speak out, but my thing is, I kind of agree with you. Like, it's like, okay, it's out. It's okay to be who you are. Okay, like this, like,
calm down.
I mean, I understand too that there's certain calm down. I understand there's certain things that are, that they're pushing for rights and stuff like that, and maybe that's why I still talked about. I don't know, because there's things they're trying to push. They're trying to push into the law, to federal law or whatever's going on. Like,
they got more laws than we do as black people, bro. Like,
yeah, that's something that I like. Put it like this. I don't feel like, I'm not trying to like belittle anything, but I feel like that's one thing I don't understand. Like, as black people, we've had our problems for so long, and I feel like we haven't even gotten the same opportunities and the same, laws, things that we had to really go out there and really fight and stuff like that. I'm not saying these people aren't either, but I don't know, bro. They make laws so quickly.
It's just they so powerful these days, you know what I'm saying? And maybe that's warranted, but if you say the wrong thing and you in a certain position, they'll get you the fuck out of there. You know?
Yeah,
what I'm
like I put it like this. It's kind of like what she said. Like, I don't care either. Like, I'm gonna respect you. I'll respect you regardless. But
exactly.
Like, why can't I say, like, okay, like, you want to be gay or you want to be transgender, but like on that idea, I don't agree with it, but I mean, I still respect you, bro.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's just, I don't like the pushing on the kids and the sports stuff. And I think it's another part of that clip that I wanted to play.
On
Hold up.
Damn, that must be the story about the kids.
Yeah, that was the story about the kids. It's a little long, though.
When psychologists or somebody that I was in love with or whatever said that I was in the wrong body, I started to think, well, maybe I am. I'm a biological woman that medically transitioned to appear like a male through synthetic hormones and surgery. I will never be a man. Is it transphobic for me to tell the truth? Why is it that a couple hundred years from now, if you dug up my body, they're gonna go, yeah, that was a woman, had babies.
Can you tell me about
That's Matt right there.
the procedures that you had?
I've had 7 surgeries. I've had 1 stress heart attack. I've had a helicopter life ride with a pulmonary embolism. I've had 17 rounds of antibiotics. I had 6 inches of hair on the inside of my urethra for
Jesus.
17 months. Nobody would help me, including the doctor that did this to me because I lost my insurance. I get infections every 3 to 4 months. I'm probably not gonna live very long.
Was there any real discussion of the risks and the side effects and?
No. No, there's not. And I know that people want to think that there is, but there's not. The truth is that medical transition is experimental. We have studies that said that medical transition helps mental health with kids. They've all been retracted, modified, changed. But the only long-term study tells us 7 to 10 years is when transgender people are the most suicidal.
After?
After surgery. But that's transphobic to say. For the first time in history, a marginalized group has a huge dollar sign on the top of their head. We have 5 children's hospitals in the United States promoting that.
And what?
That's a phalloplasty. That's a bottom surgery. We have 5 children's hospitals in the United States.
Yeah, he talked for a long, but he's saying some profound shit because he like they don't tell these kids like the risks of these hormone blockers and the transition surgery. Like that scar that he showed, they had to take tissue from his arm to reconstruct whatever he got going on down there. And he like his point was like all these surgeries is like super experimental. They ain't got no long-term research on this stuff, and
just doing it to do it.
They just doing it to, you know, for whatever reason, for money.
Dollar sign on top.
Yeah, he was like when he had, I think when he kept talking, he was like a doctor or a therapist or somebody. When they find transgender people, they get like government money, like tens of thousands. You know what I'm saying?
There's probably some corrupt shit behind it.
That's what I'm saying.
For sure. That's not saying like, you know, for everybody who wants to be a transgender, nobody's saying that you can't do that. Do what you want, but you know, if there's information out there that's, you know, that makes the situation a risk, you know what I'm saying, you should look into that.
Definitely do your research, like Martina Big.
Yeah. Fuck around. Never mind. I can't say that.
Yeah.
But hey, man. But again, I respect them. Like, I'm good, man. Just the kids. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you just watch that, like, I think it's just horrible. Like, I think none of us can imagine how they really feel inside.
Yeah.
It must be like, I don't know. Yeah, must be like your own prisoner somehow.
Yeah, it must
inside
be.
of your own body. Like, I don't even know like how it is for people. Let's say somebody says, I feel like a woman. How do they feel? And I'm a woman, you know?
Yeah, like how do you feel like a woman?
Yeah, what is it that makes you say you feel like a woman? That would be interesting.
Because it's like most of those people, they say and believe that, you know, it's like, I don't want to adhere to the gender norms of being a man. I want to be a woman. But then they do every stereotypical woman thing to try to be like a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Doing it.
Yeah. They, you know, cut themselves up. They get the wig. They get the boobs. They get the whatever. Take the hormones. The hormone shit is wild to me because, like, I don't know, man. I don't want to talk too much about it, but it's like, I think it's a topic that need to be discussed for the sake of, you know, the people that it's affecting, and that's women. Because, you know, we sat on here with a woman who was trying to appropriate us, you know, black people, you know, like, and we told her straight up, like, you're not black. I'm sorry, like, respectfully, you're not black.
It's crazy though. You know, it's crazy that you say that because in the comments, it was crazy to see that so many people were defending her also, and I was just kind of like, it just made me like rethink, like, bro, what world we live in? Like, this shit is crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, especially being black, it's like I felt like those people that were with her didn't even respect like what, you know, us being black and the things that they know that we endured and went through. You know what I'm saying?
That shit ain't crossed their mind.
Just for them just to be like, hey, I'm black now. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me. Like,
Crazy.
but I just, for me personally, that's my opinion. I don't again. I respect them. Like, it is what it is. I'm cool. I just, if we talk about it, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna say my opinion. I'm not out here just like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Shit crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Did you see a few clips of when we had Martina on here?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen her before.
Okay.
On I think TV was back in the time. I mean,
Yeah,
she's
she was on like
already-
Mari and Botch.
Super talent.
Yeah, they said
I
she was on Super
think-
Talent too.
No, I think I saw her in German television. Like,
Yeah, she was on,
somewhere
like,
they were like reporting
A morning
about
show
her.
or something. Yeah.
What was your
Yeah.
thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just wild to even go even close to that route in general.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just don't have an understanding for certain things at all. Like, I'm pretty open to a lot of things and open with a lot of topics and stuff like that. But this is like something, and she said that with such a confidence, and like, she was so like, what's it called? Convinced that,
Yeah, you couldn't tell her shit.
I'm gonna be real with you.
She was like, it's not about the color.
I'll be real with you. I respect the transgender shit more than that. I'm gonna be real with you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because, I really can't tell a motherfucker how they really feel. If you really, they must be really feeling that. You know what I'm saying? I can't take that away from them. But for whatever reasons, you know what I'm saying? But the whole turning black thing,
Yeah.
But I think it's in the same realm,
nah,
though.
I can't see
You trying
that.
to be something that you weren't born. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to say nothing
They
too
have more
of-
reasons behind. I feel like the transgender community it's like up in the air. We don't know. It's like it's still something
But
that's
why is it different to change your race than your gender? It's two things that it's like some people who try to it's some old
Because
people who
she-
try to identify as like 20-year-olds.
because that's nothing that she's talked about in that podcast. Is nothing that she talked about. Like, she never said when she was a young child.
She said when she was young, she
But she
seen
wasn't-
Pamela
but
Anderson,
she
and then she
wasn't
used to watch
born.
Africa
Okay, but
shows
the
all the time.
But with the with the transgender shit, yeah. But with the transgender shit, it's like, there's science that says, oh, maybe they're born like this.
I don't know,
know?
if it's real science.
But
man.
Martina Big ain't no science behind that. She was just like,
Well,
I
there's
want
some
to be
science
black.
behind them shots she took.
Yeah, that's how I mean. Like, she just woke up, was like, fuck it, I'm gonna be black.
Fucking black and proud. Say it loud.
And I should have asked her, like, cause she had made that same decision. She was living in a time period when they was lassoing motherfuckers and putting their ass on the fucking tree.
Oh, you should have asked her that shit.
You know what I mean?
She would have been speechless.
Because now it's kind of like it's similar to what you say about the transgender thing in a sense, like when it comes down to the media and stuff like that. Not trying to take away from anything, and no offense to any white people, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like, and I said it in the comments, I feel like personally, I feel like a lot of things that happen in the media, like a lot of black people kind of set the trend for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's become like a cool
It's a
thing.
cool thing to be black.
To be black, you know what I'm saying?
And she wouldn't want to
now,
identify.
all of a sudden.
Yeah, she wouldn't want to identify with it if she didn't think it was this shit.
But like, I think it's something different if you're like a fan of a culture,
Mm-hmm.
other than like,
You could be a fan of a gender too.
Yeah, but
You
I'm
be like,
saying,
oh, I want to be a woman so bad.
yeah, but like, I think that has really more to do with like an internal feeling that nobody can
I
understand.
think
At
they
least
both
not here.
internal.
Like-
I think they both internal feelings that I would
If you
never
wanna
understand.
if you want to be fucking Spanish, nigga, eat Spanish food. Don't go out there and fucking change your whole fucking.
Well, a lot of women getting them Spanish butt lifts trying to look Spanish.
I mean, but that's besides the fact.
for me, like when I like logically, not completely logically, but when I really think about like what it means for a person to say that they were born in the wrong body. First off, okay, you born in the wrong body. That mean God made a mistake. You know what I mean? That mean you have. Oh,
Yeah, but some people are not
But
religious.
listen though. That's what I was about to say. That makes it an oxymoron. Because if you're not religious and you don't believe in souls, then you believe that this is all we got right here. So how, Like, if God didn't make a mistake and put your soul in the wrong shell, and you just are your body, if you're atheist and you don't believe in God and or souls and stuff, like, where did the mix-up happen? Who put you in the wrong body? Huh?
It's a deep question.
Who put you in the wrong body? And do God make mistakes?
Genetics, I guess they would say.
Who made the genetics? Like, what's really going? Like, what are you really saying? Saying you were born in the wrong body? Like, it got switched up in the body factory or something?
Is there a body factory?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you really boil that stuff down, it don't really add up. Like,
I mean, but people will say the same thing about religion. They be like, nigga, how you praying to somebody you can't see? You know what I'm saying? That's a logic.
I see some truth in that too. I'm not the most religious person.
You know what I'm saying?
But if you believe you trans, you kind of have to believe in a creator and somebody.
But people believe in science and they think that it's a mix-up. Genetics. We all know that babies are made
so
genetically.
it's a birth defect.
Yeah, people think it's maybe it's a birth defect. I don't fucking know, nigga. I ain't no fucking transgender. I don't know. You know what would be really good is to have somebody on here.
You think we should have a transgender?
Of course,
on the show?
100%. Because I mean, my thing is this: I'm not sitting here trying to talk down on. That's my opinion, but I'm open to understand and get educated on that for sure. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you know, because I just, you know, of course you're gonna talk, you know, your opinion, or it might sound bad or down talk it a little bit on something you don't understand. You know what I'm saying? But maybe, I mean, I still don't think if they came up here and say it, I would understand. But
but at least they would be here to, like,
but maybe there's something,
make their own points and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. To, you know
some transgenders?
Nope.
Okay. Seems like maybe you could hook us up with an interview.
Man, I'm not trying.
Maybe. But think about it.
Maybe?
Maybe.
Nah, but for
Maybe.
real, like, out there, if anybody watches this, you know, if you're a transgender, like, I know it sounds like we a little ruthless on our, but we're really not trying to be. That's just our opinion. If you can respect that we have an opinion, we're totally open to hear your opinion on it. You saw, like, I disagree with Martina Big, but she still came up here and said she was black, and she left black. So I mean,
she left black.
You know what I mean? So nobody was, you know, I just had my beliefs, but I respect it because at the end of the day,
we were very respectful to her.
Yeah,
in the midst of all that.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, out of all the bullshit and the things that I might think is bullshit and the whole woke culture, truthfully, because I'm religious, like, I think you should, well, you know, I think you should do whatever, like, makes you happy. I can't judge you. You know what I'm saying? God's gonna judge you on whatever God you believe in. If you don't believe in God, I guess you just go to wherever you go. But at the end of the day,
I couldn't help but laugh on that.
Do what makes you happy in this life. So I have no choice but to respect you. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. So
well, me and Vince differ a little bit on that because I think to a certain extent people should do what they want to do, and they should, you know what I'm saying, live how they want to live. But, like, I think one of the messed up things about today's society is, like, people so selfish and, like, arrogant. Like, people think, because people think they life and they sexual preference is, like, all there is. Like, in the big scheme of like existence, you know how small, like, we all are.
Yeah, but still though.
But I'm saying, like, all these people that's acting like all these, like, illegitimate causes are, like, so important in the big scheme of things. They ain't, man. Don't nobody give a fuck who you sticking in what butthole or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, do that shit and shut. I'm gonna stop.
Nah, but people don't get the same opportunity though, you know. And we still live in a society, and, you know,
yeah, we live in a society
the same way as us black people.
That was my original point. Not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But, like, you have to recognize that what you doing is influencing other people. Like, you have to realize that it's not just you. You know what I'm saying? You can live your life, be happy, but you still have to have some responsibility with that shit, especially when it comes to the kids, man. Like, I wish I would have uploaded this video, but they had a show for like elementary school kids. It was a drag show. It's called like Dragging the Kids or something, with like 6 and 7-year-olds, and they had like a runway and men dressing up like women and all they gear and they frilly stuff and everything, which is okay if you're a grown person and that's what you want to do that. But why you having a drag show for that age of children and walking down and teaching little boys how to twerk and how to strut down the runway like a woman and stuff? Like, why is it a place for that?
I don't understand. Like, they say that, but some people say that, I mean, they don't believe like those things can influence the child. Come on. This is the thing though. Like, I'm interested to know, because I'm also, that's off my opinion. Maybe there is some psychological thing with psychologists that can explain. I don't know the development of an adolescent. I can just assume that I would think that every child, is influenced obviously by the most important people, their parents, right? Because you raise your child. But at the same time, I don't know, like with shows and cartoons or something that happens that might be something that's I'm against, like,
Bro, my son pick up everything he see, bro.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, I don't know if those things is what influences. I don't have enough knowledge to know if those things influence an adolescent to be like, that's gonna turn them gay or that's gonna make them a transgender. I don't know that. Like, I would think I know that by my own opinion, but that maybe there is some study on people or psychologists that can actually, who study children, can say like, this is how a child's brain develops and what influences them and stuff like that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it would be cool to have like a psychologist or transgender up here to just,
we should get like a sex therapist or something like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I also don't want to sit here and be, you know what I'm saying? I'm an educated person, so I feel like I'm open to be educated on something that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? It'll be interesting. And then I can make my opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? On that.
Yeah, I think that's what get me so hot about it sometimes, because I just don't have enough of an understanding of it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you're probably right. Maybe we should get some people in here to the contrary opinion and debate a little bit respectfully and see if how we come out on the other side.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have a question now for both of you.
What's that?
If it's not too personal.
No.
I mean, I know you said you both have children, right?
Yeah.
So how would both of y'all feel if at a certain point, like, your children tell you like, hey, we're transgender?
I got asked this question. I think, me personally, would I be upset about it? Probably, based off of my beliefs now. But like, I would also want my child to be happy, So that's why, on a part of me, the most important thing is my child's happiness. So like, if that is, I have no choice but to respect it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think I asked Tommy this the last time, like, but I think I would be a person that, I would try even more to really, really understand and, and maybe even if there's rights or something, I think once it's you, it changes the way we look at things, it's kind of like with black people, I'm sure there's white people that's like, don't let the niggas into the store separate fucking fountains till this day.
Yeah.
But, it's kind of like, you get what I'm saying? It's like, once you put yourself in those shoes, you know what I'm saying? It's easy for us to talk about the black issue because we're black.
Yeah,
it's us. It's actually who we are. But, I don't know. I think I would, push it to where, my daughter's happy or, my two sons are happy.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I would do my best to do my best in that situation. You know what I'm saying? I would, like Vince said, I would want my kid to be happy. But I believe it's a parent's, like, especially a father's, like, duty to guide his children. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't just be like automatically like, okay, you say you're a girl. Okay, let's run with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's buy you all pink stuff and I completely affirm your gender choice. You know, I would gently, just like anything he might be confused about, I would gently try to explain to him, you know, what I believe to be true, as I am his guardian and I am the person who is, you know, in charge of protecting him and guiding him through life. I would try to, because even now, like, sometimes, like, he's still trying to understand, my son I'm speaking about, he trying to, like, understand the world. And I can remember, not his age, but at an age in my life where I was coming up with all kind of theories about the world and trying to understand things before I started asking questions, just being a new being in the world and stuff, you know. And I'd look at him sometimes and he's just, his mouth is open and he's just observing, and like a sponge, he's just absorbing everything and making decisions based on stuff he's seen and stuff, you know. And a while back, he just learned how to say, like, girl, like Mädchen. And he didn't know how to say, like, Junge yet, like boy. And so he was calling everybody a girl. Like, he would just see a person in a book and be like, Mädchen, girl. And I'd be like, nah, son, that's a boy. You know what I'm saying? It's a girl and a boy. It's two of them, you know? He'd be looking at me like, okay, boy, girl. And I would have to explain it to him a few more times until he realized, like, what a girl looked like, you know, in a book. You know, a girl got long hair. She might be wearing pink. She might be doing this, you know. And I think, you know, that's part of my job, to, like, help him distinguish, not just between those two things, but in a lot of decisions in his development. And he's developing, so he don't have the mind capacity to make a whole bunch of decisions for himself yet, you know. And that's my duty to, like, help him and guide him through that. And gender is a big part of that. And I think if all these, because it's a lot of parents that, like, free range parents, you know, they just let their child
run wild
and do whatever they decide to do. I'm not that. I'm a helicopter parent, you know. I'm gonna make sure he's straight. I'm gonna make sure he keeps his curiosity, but he knows what's what.
But can I say, there's parents that are just like that, and their child still comes and says, like, you know, hey.
I mean, in that case, you can't do nothing, but you still did your job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and if that's how they come to you after that, then that just is what it is, and I'll accept it at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I didn't steer them down the wrong path, or I didn't neglect them in their curiosity and just let them make some decision that they might regret in the future. You know, I gave them all the tools.
But there's fathers out, especially with fathers, when it comes to their son, when they make these type of choices, like, they feel like, I wouldn't feel like a failure if I did everything that I was supposed to do, because at the same, exactly. I'm agreeing with you, because the same way, you know, my parents told me, I mean, it might not have been, it ain't no shit like that, but, like, my parents told me not to make certain choices, and I still wasn't, you know, thought I was an adult, and I did things and whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't feel like a failure if, like, my child did that. And I would definitely want a good explanation, and yeah, like, you know, I would want the happiness.
Yeah, I would definitely still love them, you know. It would be an adjustment, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I love my kids. They the most beautiful things in the world to me, you know. So I couldn't just disown them, you know.
Yeah,
but I would try my best.
It's parents that do that shit, though.
Definitely, it's parents that do that, you know. But
I'm saying, because they believe for real, like, strongly, like, nah, that's.
I mean, you can still hold your beliefs, but you gotta just love your kids, man.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Yeah,
sure. Is there another? Then we got one more topic, or was that it? Is everything?
I think that was everything.
I was gonna talk about, rest in peace to Trouble, man.
Oh, Trouble.
Crazy.
So he died. Was it today or yesterday?
I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. Sad though.
Yeah, it's sad. He's another rapper that's been
Random, like they're just dropping like flies, bro.
He dropping like flies, man. Especially in the Atlanta area.
It's hot right now, right?
It's hot. But I think he was like I think he got killed in a girl's place. Like he was visiting a chick, and a guy came in there and just shot him point blank range in the chest.
And
Probably.
they caught the guy, right? Or he turned himself in.
I think they put out a warrant for him, or he already had a whole bunch of warrants, and then he was wanted for that because he left the girl alive, and I guess she told. So he had to turn himself in.
So it had to have been somebody that they knew then. She told.
I don't want to speculate too much, but
I
I,
mean,
think
she told
maybe
that
maybe
it had to-
Trouble was like smashing somebody else's chick or something, and the dude came home and
I mean, we'll hear.
he had that thing, and
That's unfortunate, bro. That's sad.
I mean, I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't know if that happened, but I would assume like why else would he bust inside a chick house?
Niggas just be backdooring too.
Yeah, they be setting people up.
Yeah, that's a common thing.
But
Now.
I think she the one who went to the police though.
Well, like I said, I don't know too much, but that's just sad.
I ain't heard nothing about him in a long time though. Like you said, he had that Drake song.
The last time I heard him was I think 50 Cent had he'll be having this big party like every year,
Okay.
and him and Trey. Last time I saw it was like him, Trey Songz, like a couple people. That's the last thing. I mean, I only know really one song by him. It's that "Bring It Back" song with him and Drake.
He was nice though.
I mean, I'm not discrediting. I just wasn't,
Yeah,
I knew who
I'm
he
not
was,
really
though.
familiar with most of his music, but the shit I have heard him on, it was cool.
Yeah.
But he never really like blew like that though. But he probably is now, because that's how rap works. You die, everybody start bumping your music.
Nah.
Come on,
What about
bro.
Pop Smoke? Nigga, Pop Smoke. Everybody, when Pop Smoke was alive, that's how he blew up. He was very, very popular.
He had just
then
came out, bro.
Bro, he blew.
He wasn't even halfway out yet.
But he blew up.
I remember when
It's like Bobby Shmurda, like that hot nigga song that came out. He blew up. Like Pop Smoke went viral with
but
that "Welcome to the
you
Party."
You can't deny when he died though. Not trying respect the dead and everything, but when he died, that's when shit really went.
Yeah,
through
because
the
I
roof.
think I think when the I think because the mindset of when somebody dies, it's like you got to think, especially if you like the artist, right? You're gonna be like, oh man, well he's dead. Like he's not gonna obviously not gonna be able to make any more music. Like, can you put we want to hear more of him? So of course they're gonna play. It's like
XXXTentacion.
He had music, and it's kind of like you're not going to hear any more releases because the person is gone. So those labels try to push out, songs by the person, and of course they become a little more famous. But not every rapper that passes away is
Everybody get a little boost in rap when they die.
They do.
Yeah, but the ones that died,
Nipsey. They slept on Nipsey for years, but when he died, they acted like he was nigga won a Grammy after his death.
I think Nipsey,
Bro,
Nipsey,
they was not giving Nipsey
bro.
that type of love until he died, bro. Not a percentage.
But no, but I'm saying I want to say that because hold on, I argue this, right? The Nipsey was he's been out, but he's been on the high rise towards it. I think that last album that he came out with, the songs, he was already blown. He's more known for his interviews and how he spoke and
but even the interviews they wouldn't posting them clips like that until he died. All the wisdom.
I saw
not to the extent.
Of course, because he died, so people are.
That's my point. In rap, when you die, that's the ultimate clout upgrade, nigga.
So how they gonna talk about?
That's the last clout upgrade you
Okay,
gonna
of
ever
course.
receive.
If you're a good artist, yeah, because you see all the time on World Star Hip Hop rappers who are not so, they're kind of mainstream but still hood rappers.
I mean, you gotta have some type of notoriety and shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be If you was bubbling up and you already completed the album and then you tragically pass away and people was already anticipating you, when that shit drop,
Of course, it's
You Tupac, nigga.
Yeah, of course.
You Tupac.
But don't you think it should be like that?
Not necessarily, man.
I
I
think
think people be trying to, you know how when somebody, like when a celebrity die, and everybody post a picture like they was a super fan of them, like, oh my God, Morgan Freeman died.
I think, yeah.
Not Morgan Freeman's still alive. But,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
just
just
saying, like somebody died and everybody be like, they was just on their nuts.
I don't think it's because they think they're on it.
Or they trying to just get some quick likes and shit. Everybody gonna like this.
I don't think that. I think for example, Nipsey Hussle, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really listen to Nipsey Hussle.
Me
like
either,
that.
but I listened to him after he
But
died.
I know, but I knew who he was.
Me too.
But it's like, it was like kind of like trouble. Like when you told me that, I was like, damn, like it's just, I think it's more of a shock. You know, it's like
How much you want to bet Trouble gonna have a #1 song on the radio next week?
bro, it's like when Virgil passed.
Virgil was pretty celebrated already.
I just know, but I'm just saying though, you know, everybody was kind of posting shit too. Like not everybody wearing Off-White and isn't, you know, but
Yeah.
everybody in that.
But he was already solidified. But even he got a boost in popularity for like a week after he passed because he a part of the hip hop community and shit. And people just tend to celebrate you when you pass or when you go to prison or when you get out of prison. And
So if you're
hip hop
kind
is
of
toxic, man.
So if you're kind of a public figure, like, you know, like let's say Juice WRLD, and you're a good artist and you pass away, like why don't you think that these should be kind of like a good little clout to to celebrate their,
I don't think they shouldn't be celebrated.
to mourn.
I don't
That's a
think they
time to
shouldn't be
mourn.
celebrated. I just think a lot of people be fake supporting just to like,
It's like a hype.
yeah, it'd be like a death hype. It's just it disgusts me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because like
I can understand that. I get what you're saying.
people just trying to jump on the bandwagon on the last second. Like, oh, this nigga died that I didn't really listen to. Let me go make sure I know a few of his songs so I can have something to talk about when somebody bring him up.
When Nipsey Hussle passed, I was kind of like, I was like, I always try to figure out like why do so many people post him and stuff like that. And then I looked into him and I was like, damn, like
Nigga was dope.
he was really dope. And like,
I think that's what happened with a lot of people though. That's why, that's the effect. Like they go look you up because people like, oh, R.I.P.
nah, but
R.I.P.
he was very
Yeah, Nipsey was nice with it. He was one of them ones, but people wasn't checking for that when he was alive is my point. You know what I'm saying? Like other people blew up off of Nipsey. They're like, if you had a new song with Nipsey, like Roddy Ricch blew up. I hate to say it, but Roddy Ricch blew up off Nipsey's death because they had that they had that one song with the video where they like on around the private jet. You could not go on YouTube without that song, without that video playing.
Roddy Ricch. That's not what blew
Yes,
him up.
bro, I'm telling you.
His once I
never heard of Roddy Ricch before Nipsey
then
death.
you're bugging though, because that's not true. That's not true.
Bro.
Of course, when he did a song with a celebrity that's known, you know what I'm saying? I understand, of course, because he was on the come up, but he wasn't not seen because of Nipsey. That's false. Just
Bro,
his breakout song was not.
what
the
was
Nipsey.
his breakout song?
His breakout song was I think it was "Don't Want to Die Young." That was his breakout.
That
song.
didn't get no traction until Racks in the Middle came out.
Nah, bro. Because
You could not go on
I heard
YouTube.
Rowdy Rich before Racks in the Middle.
But he didn't. You might have. I'm not
Yeah.
disputing that. But the world was introduced to Roddy Ricch through Nipsey Hussle after you could not go on YouTube after his death and not see every second video. If you play the music video on YouTube, every second video was a Nipsey Hussle music video, and it was the first one they played was the one he got with Roddy Ricch, and everybody got familiar with Roddy Ricch, and there's another dude that it was a few videos that you could not go on YouTube and not see after
Okay, so
Nipsey's death.
what would you say about like somebody's death, like Pop Smoke got murdered? How would you take that? Because I feel like he was getting
He was getting looks. He was bubbling up.
looks. No,
But when
he wasn't.
died,
He wasn't.
When
just
he died,
bubbling.
they was acting like he was the greatest of all time or some shit.
No, I tell you this, with Pop Smoke in New York, like you gotta also understand, you know hip hop.
Yeah.
It better than anybody in this room right now. You gotta also understand the regions of hip hop, and when it comes down to New York and Atlanta and stuff like that. New York did not have a sound for a very long time in the music industry until Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke brought a brand new sound to New York.
Brand new though.
Brand new. He's the only, listen,
That nigga sound like 50 Cent.
but he still did. Bro, you can't go. Okay, we got to know that New York is still a big headliner for hip hop world. Like once everybody, even back then, once you were heard in New York, like, and people in New York is fucking with you,
It spread.
it spread like rapid fire. And Pop Smoke, like, you know what I'm saying? Not just because I'm a fan, because I am obviously a fan, but, you know, I'm also from New York. And I know, like, when you get into these disputes about different artists and who got it, Atlanta, blah, 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 Pop Smoke definitely, now New York is
I'm not denying that he was talented, bro. Like, I hear songs of his now, and I was like, damn, this nigga made all this music before he passed, and it was dope. But I remember hearing about Pop Smoke before he passed, and honestly, he seemed like an industry plant to me. Because this dude came out of nowhere. He got features with 50 Cent and Migos, and like, I never heard of him, but when the first thing I hear of him is he like got a song with everybody in the industry and shit.
because he broke out with the Welcome to the Party shit, and that shit blew that shit.
Yeah.
It was like,
But it was still super fast though.
it was like Bobby Shmurda's, exactly. Okay, what happened to Bobby Shmurda? Bobby Shmurda came out with one song, then he got locked up. So we only knew Bobby, even his hype of him being in prison was like, all we know is hot nigga. Like he was that, he was that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Then he got
Pop
out.
Smoke way more talented than
Yeah,
motherfucker.
I'm just making a point. Like, still with Pop Smoke, he came out with, because we're in this new era of drill, and he's the first industry successful. Because remember, nobody was listening to drill after Chicago and shit like that. The drill scene
But
kind of
his
went away.
commercial success came from his death, bro. When he died,
he
they
was
supported
celebrated.
him more.
Of course, they're gonna support you. I'm not
I mean,
debating
that's my whole point. When you die in hip hop, they you become Tupac.
But okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just think people are celebrating them because it's like it's a mourning. It's how fans kind of mourn, because you don't know the person personally.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a way that fans kind of mourn a celebrity's death, you know.
Yeah.
And knowing that they're never gonna come out with another album unless
But do you like posthumous albums though? I don't.
which one? I don't like
Like how they just piece it together.
I don't like how I don't like, for example, like Pop Smoke. 'Cause that was an artist I was like, damn, like he had New York on fire. Like, what the fuck? Like, you're never gonna hear another song from him. Then they were like, oh, we're working on a Pop Smoke album. And a lot of his fans and a lot of people who personally knew him were like, he would have never even really created an album with so many features like that, because his
They said that-
personality.
Yeah, they said that about XXX. Too.
Yeah, his personality was he didn't fuck with a lot of niggas. Like, you know what I mean? So hearing like who was on that fucking album, and it was
some hard songs on that album though.
Yeah, it was hard, but it was just some songs like it was like, bro, he probably wouldn't have never really
Of course,
made that
but
song.
the labels, that's another thing I don't like about how they do that shit too, because the labels still make money off of you, and you dead in the ground and shit, you know? Yeah. But I feel like she don't have much to say about this topic. so-
I'm like back and forth like tennis right there. But yeah, I totally agree what you said about like, you know, people blowing up after they die. And
I saw
It's
you
just-
shaking you probably didn't know about Roddy Ricch until
yeah, same. Like I know him through after.
But it's
my video.
Germany.
Hey,
I feel like
hey,
Germany's
don't say that. I'm pretty interested in music.
Oh, you're
like,
into it?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
into
But,
it?
like,
Okay.
But yeah, like he has a point. It's
Yeah,
that's
I
what it
mean,
is.
of course, I think celebrities get a little, you know, they get a little boost because, like I
Yeah.
said, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I knew Nipsey Hussle before too. Before he died, I was just not like 100% focused on him, like you said. But of course, after that, like people realize, oh, like you said, there's not going to be any new music anymore. You like kind of come to realization that was it with that person.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, everything becomes a masterpiece and unique.
Exactly.
And it's just that person and just that sound and that song forever.
Yeah, because you ain't never
But
gonna hear it.
you know what other industry kind of works like that? The art industry.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
No, like all the famous like painters and shit are dead. Like your art don't become like really valuable until you like dead, and it makes your art like collector's pieces because it's like they like one-on-ones and they ain't never gonna be created again. I think it's a few people now that's kind of changing that.
Yeah, because I think now art is definitely more because of the Vincent Van Goghs and the, you know, now art is starting to become more appreciated in the present now.
Yeah,
because of like NFTs and the world.
Which I don't understand.
The things are changing, you know. Because nobody really, you know, back then when they saw Vincent Van Gogh painting and shit, they was probably like, this motherfucker crazy.
Did he like cut his ear off?
Yeah,
one of them cut their ear off or something like
it's
that.
Vincent Van Gogh.
But still, no
you look
modern.
at that Starry Night painting.
I don't understand the whole like splotchy art stuff. Like I respect it, like you say, but because my mother-in-law, she's an artist and she does the whole like artistic where she kind of just like throws paint on there and people be buying it for thousands of euros.
People say
we got it hung up all over the house. You know, shout out. You know,
yes, you see Kanye. You heard what Kanye said. He said when he hears beats, he sees it like art or some shit. Like you know what I'm saying. So. You know, people probably see that shit and see like.
But I think no artist of today is like selling like
art like that.
not like in the millions, like with the Mona Lisa worth or some shit like that. They might be making some good money, but
I think you
got to be crazy and dead for your art to be like worth like.
I think with the Mona Lisa though, it has to do with how old it is. You know, not really. Yeah, it's with the art, but it's like it was also made so long
Did you
ago.
see like somebody, because they got the Mona Lisa in like a museum in somewhere, and some dude like dressed up as an old man and like went in there in a wheelchair, like a young dude, and like threw a fucking cream pie at the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, he's in jail probably.
Nah, they just let him walk out. He was like, I did this.
They were probably, it's not the real one anyways, bitch.
No, it was the real one, but they had it encased in glass so it didn't get destroyed or nothing. But he was like, I did this for the animals or some shit like that when he was walking out. Think about the animals.
What the fuck Mona Lisa got to do with the animals?
I fucking know. All these fucking
maybe because it was
activists.
Something wild to do, so.
Maybe they made the paint out of fucking animal products or some crazy shit. I don't know. But anyway, I think we can wrap it up for this week. We did like 2 hours.
Yeah, what time is it?
I don't know. I'm at home, shit.
Yeah, no, I gotta say.
But we appreciate you coming and giving a mature woman's point of view.
For sure.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. That's like what I said. That's one of the cool things. You definitely gave a lot of mature answers that we could relate to as being mature men.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I appreciate you coming here too and shit.
Thank you.
Liddy.
Yeah. You want to shout out your Instagram or TikTok or anything like that?
It's cool. I'm not
Okay.
about the hype.
I have to ask everybody that, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fine.
Yeah, man. But this has been episode 20. Quote Goats, you know what it is, man. We'll see y'all next week. See y'all on TikTok. You know what I'm saying?
Keep subscribing. Keep following.
Yeah, we running it up. We on the
Run it
road
up.
to 60K on TikTok right now. You know, we like 25 million views in. And it's a good feeling. And, you know, watch the comments, though. Y'all about to get us kicked the fuck off of TikTok, man.
Damn. Stop being such savages, man.
People are so fucking crazy in the comments, man. But
It's kids watching.
exactly. But, yeah, man. See y'all next week. We appreciate it. Peace.
Wow. Yo, if you enjoyed this podcast, you already know what to do.
And if you don't know what to do, I'm going to tell you what to do. Hit that subscribe, hit the bell icon, and give us a like. Because it's the Quote Go podcast, man. You can't go wrong. Tune in every weekday, 6 o'clock. Friday, full episodes on YouTube and Spotify. Hit us up on the Instagram. Give us topics. And we appreciate it, man. Quote Ghost Podcast. We out.